First of all, when she made the sandwiches, she's not wearing gloves. Okay? She doesn't clean the table first, which at least show yourself cleaning it. Maybe she did, but show it. Super weird to me. It's so weird the things that they'll justify in order to stand up for this disgusting piece of shit.
She is not the savior that some of y'all think she is, and I get so irate over it, and that's why I talk about her all the damn time.
We have been so fortunate and blessed by this YouTube community, and we have been giving back to our community all month, and we can't wait to show you everything that we've been doing. But first, coffee!
Hello my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Wildflower Tea, and in today's video I want to continue a conversation that's been taking place recently within the commentary community, and it does involve another channel here on YouTube by the name of Doherty Dozen. As always, that channel and all the channels mentioned in today's video will be sourced in the description down below. And I will say, if after watching this you find yourself more interested in the family, please do go check them out for yourself. Gather your own thoughts and opinions, because there is most definitely a major divide here on the internet with how people feel about this channel. Before we get into all of that, however, just to give you guys a quick rundown, the Doherty Dozen channel has a little over 1 million subscribers, and it's mostly ran by a woman named Alicia, where between her and her husband Josh, they have 12 very beautiful adopted children. They began fostering back in 2010 after experiencing extreme infertility and having 11 different miscarriages. After a lot of pain and heartache, they decided to make it their mission to rehome as many children in need as they financially could, and they did just that. Several of the children that they did rehome had a disorder called fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which, for those of you who don't know, is a group of conditions that occur when alcohol passes through a mother to her baby through the umbilical cord. Because of this disorder, there are a few of the children that have physical, behavioral, and educational issues, which in my personal opinion makes sense on as to why some of the children that do struggle with this disorder may have to be treated a bit differently than the others. And I mention this only because after Alicia went viral over on TikTok for a time-lapse meal prepping video, both her TikTok and her YouTube grew pretty quickly. And of course, with that growth also came a lot of people ready and willing to give her tons of criticism for everything from her parenting skills to the amount of money she spends on groceries to the way that she preps her food to the amount of time she allows her children to be on camera and online. Basically, you name it, and bless her heart, this woman gets criticized for it. And I've also noticed that a lot of times the criticism that they have for her seems to trickle down onto her children, and you have full-grown adults out here just fully criticizing young children for their behavioral issues, the way that they act in public, the way that they say certain things. And I'm sorry, but I do think that that's a bit much. Don't get me wrong, I do think that there is an amount of fair criticism to be had here. I've said this before on my channel when we've talked about family vloggers in the past, but I do think that there is a fine line between exploiting your children and just sharing a sweet, sentimental family moment online. And to me, it's more about the safety of the children, because from where I stand, when you make your children and your family the focal point of your content, sadly, it does open them up to criticism, and that takes a layer of protection away from them. Plus, you have a lot of creeps and weirdos out here that will do the most absolute disgusting things, again putting these children in harm's way. As parents, it's our #1 job to keep our kids protected and make sure that we are not putting them in harm's way. And these are just a few reasons why I myself pick and choose what I share on online platforms about my own children. I do think that there is a way that you can share special moments and milestones without putting their safety and their personal information at risk. But again, it is a thin line, and I do understand the criticism from that. So I just wanted to make sure to make a point to say that. However, a lot of these anti-mommy / family vloggers that say that they stand on integrity and they're doing this to raise awareness on child exploitation and all the things that they say they stand on are the exact people putting these children at risk. If you're putting out video after video after video breaking down these family vloggers' content and doing so in a very in-depth way way where you're not only criticizing the children and nitpicking at them, but also nitpicking every little detail of the video. In my personal opinion, you, my friend, are also a part of the problem. Another thing I've noticed is a lot of these channels seem to start off with a mission to raise awareness on child exploitation and all of these serious matters, but it seems after they get a bit of attention from it, it turns into something else altogether.
The insults that he's giving to mommy vloggers and people that he's covering, I think are irrelevant and below the belt, and they are statements that I would never stand behind because I'm just not a jerk. She's constantly rebuying stuff that is cheap and useless. Your kids don't know the value of a toy. Like they need more sugar. Their diet is literally 80% sugar anyway, and the other 20% is processed food. So why do they need ring pops on Christmas? Sugar, 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 sugar. I cannot stand the amount of overconsumption this woman does. It drives me nuts. Nobody needs to hear really personal insults in order to realize that family vloggers exploiting their kids is bad. A lot of the things that he's doing just don't align with that being the most important message. That's just my opinion.
Instead of bringing awareness on these serious topics, they turn into channels that are bringing awareness on the minor details of what these children and parents are doing. It tends to become kind of obsessive, and then oftentimes the viewers who are consuming the anti-mommy / family vlogger content tend to get obsessive as well. And slowly but surely you see these people that started off with this major mission and integrity start to be fueled with so much anger and hatred that it not only consumes their channel, but it also seems to consume them. They start acting erratically, doing things completely out of character, letting the smallest, tiniest things really affect them to a major degree. And the goalpost of things that they would never do or never accept starts to move a bit more and a bit more until you have these same people who once upon a time stood on integrity and stood against this and that, co-signing some of the worst things being done to these families, all because they deserve it. Didn't you know?
And people were flipping out about how she made these sandwiches. Well, some subscribers decided to contact Dietz and Watson.
This message that I was sent a screenshot from a lovely sub of mine where someone had actually reached out to this company, and this is what they had to say. May I ask why you donated meats and cheese to the Doherty Dozen? Hi, thanks for your comment. We wanted to donate food to local food banks in order to help those less fortunate this holiday season. The food was supposed to be delivered unopened in their sealed packaging. This was not a paid partnership, and Dietz and Watson has no current or future plans to, partner with them.
Now, that really pissed me off because this is happening right after people got pissed when Alicia was copyright striking other channels. So you're telling me, and messing with their money. So Alicia can't copyright strike channels and mess with their money, but you guys can contact brands that she's working with and mess with her money. Do you see the hypocrisy there? This is not the first time people have contacted brands that she's working with to start trouble and get them to drop Alicia, okay?
And even if you're not doing these things, yet you're co-signing other people who do, in my opinion, that's just as bad. It gets to a point where these creators and family vloggers are damned if they do and damned if they don't. A major criticism that Alicia has gotten is the fact that she spends a lot of money on food, electronics, toys, all of these things for her family. And people believe if she's got money like that, she should be donating to other people in need. But throughout this past holiday season, she did exactly that in several different ways, from making food bags for the local homeless people within her area to sponsoring 12 different teenagers who, if it wasn't for her and other people that she was working with, would not have had anything for Christmas, not even a warm bed to sleep in. And these people still found every minor detail to criticize her for, going as far as to reaching out to a company she collabed with when it comes to the meat and cheeses she used for sandwiches for the homeless people, and making it to where in the future this company never wants to work with her again. All these people are doing is making matters worse and taking away the benefits that this woman does have to help those in need. And the reasoning behind doing it is what really blows my mind the most.
First of all, when she made the sandwiches, she's not wearing gloves. Okay? She doesn't clean the table first, which at least show yourself cleaning it. Maybe she did, but show it.
Look how she's assembling them. She's not being sanitary enough. Please tell me how all of these tiny little criticisms that you go at her for is for the greater good or for a bigger picture. Because from where I stand, you look like someone who really just doesn't like this woman, and your hate is showing through on another level. And if we got to be technical here, then absolutely she could have took some extra added precautions, wore some gloves, wore a hairnet. But the wild part here is even if she had have done all of these things, these same people would have still found something to criticize her for because they just don't like her. And this leads me into the question I want to open up to you guys in the comment section. When does criticism go too far? When does it stop being about raising awareness, calling out contradictions, showcasing someone's behavior, whatever the situation may be? And when does it turn into pure hatred for a complete stranger online? At the end of the day, if you're online, then yes, you are open to criticism and there is a respectful, fair way to give that criticism. All you guys are doing are making all of these people you're criticizing victims. You are making them victims. Y'all, please sound off in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this one. Also, please do not be a petty Betty and send hate to anyone that was mentioned in this video. That is not what this video is for. I just think that there is a bigger conversation to be had here, and the conversation needs to be had. This isn't just an issue with family vloggers. This is an issue all over the internet. And to be quite honest with you guys, the problem is getting larger and larger by the day. There is a very thin line between criticism and commentary and cyberbullying and harassing other people. And if you're not careful and you let that hatred fuel you, I'm a firm believer that you will very much find yourself on the negative flip side of that. With all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing, tapping the bell if you haven't already. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you to the moon and stars. And until my next one, bye y'all.